Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
So you're joining us today as we really get into some, frankly, mind-blowing stuff happening in AI. We're focusing on DeepMind.
Yep, Google DeepMind. We've looked at that recent CBS News piece with Demis Hassabis, their CEO.
And also some analysis of Alphabet's wider AI moves. Pulled it all together for you.
Exactly. Our mission today, to cut through the noise and, really understand what these breakthroughs mean.
We're talking things like Genie 2 generating 3D worlds.
And AI reasoning getting sharper, plus these steps towards, properly autonomous AI agents with Gemini.
And behind it all, this really, really ambitious vision from Demis Hassabis, especially for healthcare.
It's huge.
Okay, let's start with Hassabis himself. Quite the background, right? Chess prodigy, neuroscientist, now AI pioneer.
Driven by those really big questions, meaning of life, consciousness.
Fundamental stuff. And he sees AI as the key, the ultimate tool to figure things out.
And it's not just tech for him. That neuroscience angle is key, I think. He's trying to understand intelligence itself, artificial and human.
Which probably drives their research in unique ways.
Definitely. And the pace.
Yeah.
Wow. Hassabis calls it an exponential curve of improvement.
Sounds like hype, almost.
Well, yeah, but he argues the success feeds itself. More attention, more money, more smart people jumping in.
Means even faster progress. A powerful feedback loop.
So if we are on that curve, what kind of unexpected things might pop up soon?
That's a good question. I mean, look at generative AI. First images, then video.
And now Genie 2, generating interactive 3D worlds. That's a massive leap in understanding the physical world.
A leap that might help train robots, maybe?
Could be. It suggests AI is getting a real handle on physics and interaction much faster than we thought. Astra is another example of that, understanding the real world.
Right, Project Astra, that AI companion concept. It can see, hear, interpret.
Yeah, it wasn't just that's a painting, it was that's a Thomas Hart Benton, or that's an El Greco.
And it even described the feeling in that Hopper painting, Automat. Pensive solitude. That's nuanced.
It really is. Getting into subjective interpretation, not just facts, it hints at a deeper grasp of, human stuff.
And then it made up a story about the person in the painting.
Which brings up that point Hassabis made about unexpected behaviors, right?
Exactly. They learn from the whole internet, so they run into new contexts, develop skills you didn't explicitly program.
So you get these amazing abilities, but you also constantly need to figure out what they actually know and how.
It's a challenge. How do you keep them aligned with what we want as they get smarter and sort of stranger?
That's the million-dollar question, maybe $1 trillion.
And DeepMind's pushing beyond just understanding Gemini. They're training it to act.
Booking tickets, shopping online, taking real actions in the digital world.
Feels like a very concrete step towards AGI, artificial general intelligence, that adaptable human-like AI.
For sure. And Hassabis' timeline? It's pretty aggressive.
5 to 10 years for AGI. Wow.
And systems deeply embedded in daily life by 2030. He gave that example of Astra maybe running in eyeglasses.
Spotting the coal drops yard in London and knowing its history just by looking.
Yeah. That level of instant contextual understanding, it's a lot.
And not just digital stuff. He's also betting on a robotics breakthrough moment soon, like in the next couple of years.
Real robots doing useful things, not just factory assembly lines.
We saw that demo, right? The robot putting blocks in a bowl.
Yeah, the yellow and blue blocks into the green bowl.
Yeah.
Based on pretty vague instructions.
It had to figure it out, reason its way through.
That's the key, isn't it? Moving beyond simple commands to actual problem solving in the messy real world. That kind of reasoning is what benchmarks, maybe like QuestBench, implicitly points towards, are trying to measure and push.
Okay, now the big one, self-awareness.
Ah, yes, the consciousness question.
Hassabis doesn't think current systems feel self-aware, but he thinks it's possible, maybe even an emergent thing, as they learn about self and other.
But he also points out, how would we even know?
Right, the substrate difference. Silicon versus carbon. Our whole idea of consciousness is tied to our biology.
Would a silicon consciousness, if it happened, feel anything like ours? Or even be recognizable as consciousness? It's a deep philosophical question.
And he did say they lack real curiosity now, or imagination, intuition.
But he expects that to change. He thinks they will have greater imagination in 5 to 10 years, capable of even posing new scientific questions.
Which brings us nicely to that huge scientific win. The protein folding work.
AlphaFold, yeah, Nobel-worthy stuff he did with John Jumper.
Proteins are fundamental, the building blocks, and this AI matched 200 million structures in a year.
When it used to take ages, years sometimes, just for one. The scale is just transformative for biology and medicine.
And that's the link to drug development, right?
Absolutely. Understanding proteins is crucial. Hassabis thinks AI can slash drug development time and cost. Years and billions down to potentially months or weeks.
Which leads to his most audacious claim.
The moonshot.
Curing all diseases
Yep.
within the next decade, using AI.
It sounds like pure sci-fi.
Yeah.
But given AlphaFold's impact already and the potential acceleration, maybe it's not impossible. It's certainly the goal.
An incredible goal. The impact would be, well, everything.
Unimaginable, really.
Okay, let's shift slightly. Beyond the core DeepMind research, Alphabet's doing other AI things too. Firebase Studio.
Right, that looks interesting. Using Gemini AI agents to help people build apps.
Even non-developers. Using natural language, pictures.
Yeah, lowering the barrier. You describe what you want, maybe upload a mock-up, and the AI helps build it. It can really speed things up.
And it runs on Google Cloud, so there's the business angle for Alphabet.
Definitely. Monetization through back-end services, hosting. Makes sense.
And then there's this A2A protocol. Agent to agent.
Trying to get different AI agents from different companies even to talk to each other properly.
Interoperability sounds important if you want complex systems built from different AI parts. Supports audio, video.
Yeah, potentially a big deal for creating like a whole ecosystem of collaborating AIs. And they launched with over 50 partners, so there seems to be demand for it.
And underlying all this AI activity, it's driving Google Cloud growth.
Hugely. Cloud is Alphabet's fastest growing bit. These AI tools and platforms give people more reasons to use Google Cloud.
They're investing massively too, right? Infrastructure, custom chips.
Billions, like $75 billion this year on infrastructure. And their own AI chips, like Ironwood, to optimize performance and cost. Plus, buying companies like Wiz for cybersecurity on the cloud.
So Google Cloud is becoming really central to Alphabet's future, fueled by AI.
Looks that way. Big growth, surging profits there.
Okay, so let's tie this together. We've got DeepMind making strides with Genie 2 for 3D worlds.
Pushing AI reasoning, shown by things like that robot demo.
Developing autonomous agents with Gemini.
And Hassabis with this incredible vision, especially curing disease with AI.
It forces the question, doesn't it? Is DeepMind actually pulling ahead? Are they about to, seriously challenge or even outperform OpenAI and take the lead globally?
That really is the core question floating around now. DeepMind's focus on fundamental science, AGI, these grand challenges, combined with these very real, very impressive breakthroughs.
Like Genie 2, like the reasoning steps, like Gemini acting.
Exactly. It makes a very strong case. Their approach, deep science plus practical application. It might be a winning combo in the long run.
So just to recap for everyone listening, we've looked at DeepMind's really exciting work, creating 3D worlds, making AI better at reasoning, building agents that can do things.
And that truly transformative vision for health, aiming to cure diseases, plus how all this fits into Alphabet's bigger AI strategy and their growing cloud business.
It's a lot happening very fast.
It really is.
So the final thought we want to leave you with. If DeepMind is progressing this quickly and Hassabis is talking about curing all diseases, what other huge, maybe seemingly impossible global problems might advanced AI, maybe even AGI, help us tackle in the coming years or decades?
Yeah, think beyond the apps and the immediate tech. What are the really big world-changing possibilities here?
Something to ponder. Until our next deep dive, keep thinking about that future.